All right. Hello, hello. Now you're off mute. You want to say it again?
Hello?
I forgot. Sometimes, when I'm doing solo streams, like I don't think about things, and that was one of
Yeah.
the things I forgot I muted you. At least I caught it now and not like 5 minutes later when the chat was finally like, "Are you talking to someone?"
Yeah, not so good.
Ah. Welcome to our stream. We've got Deathmark tonight. I don't know if we'll finish it up tonight or not. Um, but yeah, I am Kels. We don't have any like great like roles in this. I play
No.
our protagonist and narrator. Okay. You
Yeah.
have an echo.
My name is Lemur. My pronouns are she, her, and yeah, pretty much I'm just all of our side characters. And also a reminder to anybody listening, if I'm referring to my children, I am very much talking about my 3 German shepherds, or at least one of them. So just quick disclaimer there, if especially chat favorite Maverick, um, mostly because he's the one I have to yell at the most. He is the youngest, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
Are you using a new mic tonight?
No,
You want to check your mic settings? You do sound different tonight. I thought it was just me, maybe.
how do I sound different?
Well, you sound like you're I wouldn't say like further away. You sound like you originally did before you got your mic.
But like my mic is literally right next to my mouth.
I know. That's why it sounds weird. So I'm wondering if it's not if it's not feeding to the wrong place.
I don't know how to fix that.
Are you on your laptop?
Yeah,
Oh shit, you have a Mac.
I do have a Mac. What if I plug in with the USB instead of the?
You can try that.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear. Oh,
Oh,
well, I can't hear you through my headphones.
now I'm echoing. Oh, that's better.
Yeah, it's because apparently the USB doesn't connect to the headphones.
Hmm.
It's weird.
Well, now you sound much better. I don't think you have an echo anymore.
Apparently, the age old unplug it and replug it in
It worked.
worked.
I know. I was sitting there as we were talking before stream going, "You sound really different." But I wonder if it's just me. It's been a while. Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember. Did you always sound like this?
I mean, I also do have the allergies, so it could also just be me.
Ah, happy spring.
Hmm. Okay, cool. It worked.
Awesome. We are good to go then. You have anything you want to talk about for pre-show banter? We can talk about your allergies if you'd like.
I mean, sure. So I found out that I might be allergic to the new allergy med I switched to.
I
Um,
still think that is just so ironic and hilarious.
so I've been taking Allegra for the longest time, and it just hasn't been working. At least I didn't feel like it was working, and I usually stop taking it in the winter. So this is about the time of spring that I actually start giving a shit. Um, and I started taking Zyrtec this week, and my face is itchy.
Yeah, that's just not a good sign.
No, so I'm 1 day off of it. I'm gonna wait a couple more days. My face is still itchy, not as bad as it was yesterday. um, but I'm because that's really the only thing I can think of because I kind of like I stopped wearing makeup with the panini. Um, I don't know if Twitch doesn't like when you refer to, global events.
Yeah.
Because TikTok doesn't, and everybody on TikTok refers to it as like, the panorama.
Yeah.
So if I say like weird shit like that, yeah, it's just because I don't want us to get in trouble with the Twitch gods.
I think we're
Um,
okay, but honestly, I do not mind censoring it.
it also amuses me to try to help like diffuse the pain. So like, honestly, it's all good. Um, but yeah, so that's been my life. Um,
I will say, like, ever since I moved to Florida, I haven't had allergy issues. Like, knock on wood.
God, what's that like?
I know, right? Like, I forgot how bad it used to get.
Hmm.
Like, so, like, when the year before I moved from the West Coast, I was taking Sudafed in order
Hmm.
to deal with my symptoms, which, for those of you who aren't in the allergy medication world, is a pretty heavy, like, decongestant
Hmm.
that is also used that can also be used to make drugs, in case anyone
Hmm.
have wanted to know. But so I had a prescription for that just because my allergies would get so bad.
Hmm.
And I remember like going to the pharmacy for the first time to get it and having the pharmacist like look at me. And for those of you
Yeah.
who have never, seen me in relationship to anything, I'm like 5 foot nothing. I'm tiny, like I am not a threat whatsoever. But this pharmacist thought,
Only on the outside.
yeah, only on the outside. On the inside, I will stab anything. I am the threat. Uh, but like this pharmacist took one look at me and went, "Ah, yes, she's probably using it to make drugs." And so I got an hour-long lecture at the pharmacy about
Jesus.
like not using my Sudafed to make drugs with. And it was like, dude, like I am so congested. I look like I've been crying for 3 days, like because my
Yeah.
allergies are so bad. Just like shut up and let me take one.
That's yeah, no. That's funny. The state of Florida itself is experiencing an allergic reaction at all times.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly.
Every time I think we can't get worse, we do. So, it happens.
It's like a solo competition where no one wins.
Yeah, it's funny because like I obviously come from a country where like social and political change happens so slowly. Like
Hmm.
there's not huge shifts in anything in Japan. Like everything has been talked halfway to death by the time it eventually makes it into law.
Hmm.
And so like moving to the States, it was like, oh wow, things can change pretty quickly. And then I moved here and it's like, okay, this is turbo time. What the fuck? Like every time I turn around, there's something new.
Well, it's like the whole thing with the payback in air quotes that your governor is trying to get towards Disney.
Yeah.
And it's like, have you thought that through?
I
Do
don't
you realize
I
what all the shit
Yeah,
that you're gonna
really.
have to deal with if you default? Like, because one of the clauses in that agreement is that like if it's ended, like the state of Florida is like responsible for paying all of Disney's debts, like to the area, and like Disney's in debt
Oh yeah.
because they don't have to like.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that I think is, it's more of a, like an actual concern as opposed to like petty,
Hmm.
but like the fact that Disney World, from my understanding, has its own like fire
Hmm.
department, its own like emergency services in general. So that way they can respond really quickly to their own stuff and they pay for it.
Hmm.
So it's not on the local taxpayers. Like Disney supplies these things and pays for it themselves. And the fact that the last statistic I heard was like Disneyland makes back park operation costs within 2 hours of opening. I feel like with how large Disney World is, that's more like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Disney World is very big. Like
It boggles my mind.
and like if you've never like driven around Disney World, so like for those of you who have never actually been to Disney World, like it's a little bit different from I remember Disneyland being, although my remembrance of Disneyland at this point has been like almost
You can
15 years
actually
ago.
drive around Disneyland. Like, that's a thing you can do, and it won't take you that long.
Yeah. So like when you drive into Disney World, so like there's these weird little divider things like
Mhm.
on the entrances, like the different roads that you can take to get into Disney World.
Mhm.
So like that's before you even hit like the parking stuff. And then you basically have like this little labyrinth of roads that will take you to the correct park or the correct resort, or like it's huge. But like if you drive around it, there's all of these solar panels and things,
Mhm.
and so it's like, okay, that they're definitely taking advantage of solar power. So like
Mhm.
they're definitely not worried too much about the electricity. We're in
Mhm.
Florida, we have plenty of sun. I don't know about powering an entire amusement park, but I don't know, I'm not a
I mean,
scientist.
well, I mean, like it could at least doesn't Disney pay a fine every day for the damages from the fireworks? I don't know about that.
Oop.
I know that one of the things that I know that's distinctly different between land and world is because of how world has its own districting, they can basically do whatever they want because they're like their own kind of like faux country, where like land has to pass everything by the city of Anaheim, the county, in Orange County, like everything. And I think I feel comfortable sharing this on the internet, but I'm going to be taking a week off here in a few weeks, and I'm actually going to Disneyland,
Woo.
and that it'll be the week before Memorial Day. I think Memorial Day is the start of fireworks every night. Because in the off season, they only do like Friday, Saturdays because, they're in the city of Anaheim and there are people who need to go to work and school in the morning. But during the summer, they don't give a shit, and so they just have fireworks going off. I mean, they start at like 9 o'clock and end by like 9:30, but I don't know about damages necessarily.
So I just Googled it. I can't find anything about them having to pay a fine. They do have to have a special permit. So for those of you who are not familiar with Florida
Oh,
fireworks
that's right.
laws,
I'll say I'm pretty sure they're illegal in most of California too.
yeah. So fireworks are you cannot technically set off fireworks in Florida unless you are on your own land and you are trying to scare off birds. So apparently on the
Watch
4th
out,
of
Donald
July,
Duck.
yeah, there's just a shit ton of birds that people are trying to knock out of the sky. I don't know. Um, like it's one
Yeah,
of those bands that like no one really does anything about, but they do
yeah.
have to have a special permit in order to do it. And apparently, in case you wanted to know, Disney World fireworks cost about $55,000 a night to do.
Jesus.
Like
Oh, excuse me.
the amount that's more money than most people make in a year.
Yeah, certainly more than
Like
I make in a year. Jesus.
and that's on
Um,
one night of fireworks.
God. Yeah, no, so my that was actually one of my favorite things like growing up. So my grandma lives like so my family's originally from Anaheim, which is where Disneyland is. It's not in LA. I will fucking fight you. Um, LA is like fucking 2 hours away, four with traffic. Like, fuck you. It is not in LA. It's not even the same county. Um,
The
obviously, I'm a little sensitive about that. Um,
California discourse here.
well, it's just people that aren't from. It's like, dude, like, it's like saying San Diego. It's right next to San Diego, which it's very much not. Because like anyway,
Mhm.
but so my grandma lives 4 miles away from Disneyland, and we could see up until her neighbor's tree got tall, we could see the fireworks from her front porch.
That is like really nice.
Yeah, and of course, like we would know exactly on like non-park nights, we would know exactly when it was 9 o'clock because there would be explosions happening, and you couldn't feel them, but you could just hear them off in the distance.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, if you want the comparison of how big Disney World is, like you can see that from off park. In Disney World, by the time that you finally get outside of Walt Disney, like you're not even outside of Walt Disney World before you stop being able to see the fireworks. Like there are
yeah,
parts of the parking lot you can't see the fireworks from.
yeah.
Like, oh.
No, like there's actually like I've heard that like there are people who swear by like going into the Mickey and Friends parking structure so you
Mhm.
can watch the fireworks and then just like get out because it's before the rush of people leaving.
Oh my God. I
Um,
hate, like, I will say, like, if if you are not determined to watch the fireworks at Disney World, leave like an hour before, you will thank me later. Um, because like one, so Disney World sits like right on I-4, which is a major, it's basically the only like major interstate to get away, going west or east.
yeah.
And there is about this 5 mile stretch that no matter what time of day you're at is like stop and go.
Hmm.
It is horrific to
Jeez.
drive through. It is like you get out from Disney and then you have to make it all the way to the Champions Gate exit, and it's just stop and go the entire time.
Well, see, like that's like the same. So the I-5
Hmm.
is the main corridor on the West Coast. It's the main freeway. Obviously, we have other freeways, but it's the freeway that goes from the Mexico to Canada border. And we get off of the 5 after the Grapevine. So right, like we basically cut over to Pasadena,
Hmm.
so we add like a lot of miles to our trip. It's the same amount of time, but we're like it actually ends up saving us time, so we don't have to go through like LA
Yeah.
on the 5 because it's always stop and go. It doesn't matter what time of day it
Yeah.
is. Like LA is, if you're on the 5, it's always stop and go, and you can even see like if you're going around Pasadena. I mean, like the smog is bad in all of Southern California, but you can kind of see the LA haze from Pasadena as you're going around, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, like I hate driving in LA. Like I've only driven down there like twice because every time I
Mhm.
do I sit there and I go, why am I putting myself through this?
Mhm.
Like they needed to set up that monorail fucking system when Walt Disney pitched it to the
Yeah.
city of LA. Um, that's all I'm gonna say. All
But
right.
no, that totally makes sense though that so Disney I was informed that Disney owns enough land in Florida to be considered its own territory. The only thing that they are missing is a sovereign nation as a military. I mean, have you seen the security people with the mouse badge? I've heard they're very scary if you piss them off. And I don't want to do that.
No.
Because that's where I I made the mistake of this could be our last thing before we get actually started. I'm keeping an eye on the time and I'm trying to keep it to the 4 minutes until it's like 8 for me.
Hmm.
Um, but so I made the mistake of asking a Facebook group what they thought of this, and boy howdy did I pay for that mistake. But I really like Disney bounding. If you don't know what Disney bounding is, it's basically just putting together outfits that are inspired by a character, right?
Hmm.
Um, difference. Uh, what's the difference between Disney bounding and cosplay? Thank you so much for asking. Um, I would say like hard line difference for me, like you're not wearing a wig, you're not like it's not like screen accurate, you know.
Yeah.
So like you could still wear everything that's in Snow White's colors, but you're not wearing a gown.
Yeah, it's more like Disney inspired fashion, I think.
Yes. Yes. And one of the hard lines I've heard people talk about is like wig. And it's like, okay, but it like obviously like if it's a character accurate wig, I think that like that's the hard line of no. And a big reason why Disney doesn't like people, adults doing this, and I think they've lowered the age recently, that most teens cannot do this anymore either, is to us, you're going to take away from and potentially disrupt park operations if a lot of people want to come hang out with you. Anyway, so I posted this question because I'm going to California Adventure, and it's the first time that I've gone since Avengers Campus has opened. And um, no spoilers for Multiverse of Madness, I swear. But like Wanda continues to be my favorite character in the MCU. And I wanted to, Disney bound as Wanda. And I have this really cool tunic that I want to wear. And it's more in the style of Wanda Vision. It doesn't look like her current costume, which the face character is wearing because they finally introduced Wanda into the parks.
Finally.
Finally, they should have done it with WandaVision. I'm so mad. I'm really hoping that I can make it back one Halloween and they bring back Agatha Harkness because
Yes.
anyway. But yeah, that's one of the things that the mouse police really get angry if you're like disrupting things because like obviously like you're not supposed to like sign autographs, and so that's one of the things that I was concerned about with specifically like my Wanda bound, because that's one of the like my Ray, I'm going to dress as Ray to go to Disneyland from Star Wars, because it's the first time that I'll be there with Galaxy's Edge being open. um and that one I'm not worried about because Ray doesn't wear overalls. um I think it'll be a little bit more clear,
Mm-hmm.
crystal clear, that I'm not actually that character.
Yeah.
Though I don't know why anybody would think that I was the Scarlet Witch, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, number one, who the hell would want, like, maybe I'm just really sensitive to wigs, but like, I am not a huge fan of wearing wigs. After how
Mhm.
many years of cosplay, like, you could not pay me to wear a wig to Disney World and not get paid
No.
for it.
Well, and
Like,
even like the tunic that I have that I want to wear.
mhm,
So I think I posted it on my Instagram, but it's like a tighter top, and then it kind of has like a hip cape,
mhm.
like a half skirt. And so like it's, I think it's borderline pushing it, but I clearly said in the Facebook post that I had a more like streetwear version of what I wanted to wear to be Wanda prepared. And I just wanted to get photos and be dressed in the tunic for like the first couple hours at the park. And it was like the reading comprehension of this Facebook group. It was like I was like they weren't listening to me, and it was very frustrating.
It's the internet. You cannot make sure that anyone is reading anything.
It reminds me why I don't engage. Like why like half of my stories are close friends. Like I don't use Twitter anymore. Like
Yeah.
because people's read, and I mean I admit my reading comprehension is bad. We all can tell. Example stream. Um but also like I'm not about to like pop off at somebody online because I misunderstood what they said.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just.
And hey, look at that, it's 8 o'clock.
Woo! All right. Shall we talk about the game that we're playing?
Yeah. I did it.
Woo! All right. So our quick recap. It's been ages since we played this. And I was not expecting us to play this today because I was sitting there going, it's been a while. Like before the next time we play it, I should probably, like at least skip through our last episode. And then we got like a pretty last minute cancellation from Mana, and I sat there and
Mhm.
went, never mind. I don't know what we did. So, Christy brought Suzu to clean up our mansion before we returned to the Love Hotel with Daimon and Banshee, the latter of whom preached the wisdom of elevators. After fumbling around with a spoon, lube, and a condom, oh, that's right, we did some very questionable science there.
Yeah.
We fixed the elevator, then Eta helped us carry Banshee out, wrapped in spider silk. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Both him and, something. What's her name?
Hiro?
Yeah, Hiro.
Hiro?
Are both in the hospital right now.
Yes.
All right. Did I leave myself in the same spot? All right. Yeah, let's rest for today. Woo! All right. Need to go to bed early and rest after we just had this traumatic experience. Early morning, and I get the worst wake up call ever. A severe pain threatens to split my head. The mysterious headache from yesterday is back with a vengeance. I meant to go to Daimon's hospital to see Hiro and Banshee while it was light out. Spots flash before my eyes. I can't even sit up. My dude, that is a migraine. I have had one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I pull the sheets up and wait for it to pass. I'm only just able to move by the time the sun is setting. Literally, my dude, you just had a migraine.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder rumbles in the distance. Sounds like rain again. Great. I press my fingers to my temple to check. The whirlwind of pain has once again disappeared without a trace. I sigh. Mashta calls as I'm making coffee in the kitchen. He says he'll come along for tonight's investigation. Oh, two people finally go to the hospital, and he's like, you know what? Maybe I should come with you. Like, yeah, I know I sent you on this thing, but whatever. Um, he must have finally wrapped up his other cases. He mentioned that he dropped by the hospital in between cases to see Hiro and Banshi. Seems they went berserk when they awoke and are now restrained. They refused to eat. I mean, but they woke up. That's better than Hiro has been. Maybe. I think. Possibly. I don't know. Relying on IVs won't work forever. I didn't expect the report to be good, but this is a critical point in the case. Oh, that was Mashta. Before he hangs up, Mashta utters a warning. Then this is the 11th hour. Mashta doesn't offer a reply. The red lights outside the rain-soaked window are hazy like a wilting flower. It's time to head out. All right. Time to have our bromance then, again. Well, we probably should have taken a look at this case, but you know what? We can do that after we arrive. Because I remember teenage prostitution, and that's about it. All right, I park the car in the parking lot, as always, and walk over to the street in the rain. I pass down the familiar road to the hotel. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
God, he always looks like he's on drugs.
Yeah. He's fun.
You're late. What were you doing?
A man in a trench coat cuts an imposing figure on the wet street corner, glittering in lights.
You know damn well time is of the essence right now. Jesus. See? Reading comprehension. I wasn't joking. Diamond's prepared for the worst, too. He made arrangements to transfer them.
Transfer them? Oh. They must be in pretty bad condition, then.
And I didn't mean or mention this over the phone, but I met someone at Diamond's hospital.
Dude, you don't have to make me jealous. It's okay.
I ran into Sho, thank you.
Mhm.
Sho Shima. Jesus. I almost like Nagashima.
And for those of you who don't remember who Sho was, he was the 17-year-old kid that rode his bike through the forest and ended up getting cursed. He was not into ghosts. Sho, what was he doing there?
Some of his gang hangs out here. Guess we're a hot topic with them.
This kid picks the weirdest places to hang out.
Yeah. Kids do that.
They do
They've seen people in and out of the hotel. I remember when I took a photography class in college, and my friend was like, hey, we should go to this abandoned water treatment plant because it's a really good spot for photos. And so we took this really interesting hike in there. And then we were there for a good hour and a half. And then there was just a bunch of teenagers that had just gotten off of school and were just doing shit. And it's like, let's leave. I don't want to be here with the children. Okay, Nagashima heard about it and figured they were talking about you. He contacted the fortune teller, and well...
So now Sho knows about the case too.
Why didn't she just keep quiet? That old lady hands out business cards to anyone and everyone. It's a real pain.
So, did you talk to Sho?
Why would I? Such a good girl. He cornered me. asking for info on the case, but I drove him off.
I suddenly feel uneasy. You didn't say anything unnecessary, did you?
Only necessary. Of course not. I just had to stay out of grown-up matters.
That seems like the perfect way to get a teenager involved. For just a moment, my vision tunnels and a blood vessel in my head throbs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's serial killer shit. I can only imagine what gossip is going on amongst the people who saw us carry Hiro out of this hotel in her underwear, and then Banshee out in a spider silk the next night.
Look, we're into some real kinky shit. It's fine.
We're a spider-themed serial killer. Something wrong?
No, I'm fine. I'm sure he doesn't want Shoal involved either, but he really should have considered his words more carefully. I hear footsteps coming up behind me. It can't be. Shoal! I raise my head with a sudden sense of dread. But it's only Moe Watanabe.
Oh, good, a child. Thank goodness. You're here after all. Good thing I came straight here. You got the results you asked me for? I got the results you asked me for. I just guessed the first part. Sorry.
I look at her blankly for a moment. But then I remember I asked her to use her connections to investigate the rumors. Right. Thanks.
Have you heard there's a rumor in St. Petersburg? Sorry, anytime there's like like somebody's like, a rumor, it's like I just think of that song from Anastasia. There's no time. Give us the short version. Yep, I said that. Okay.
You did say that. It lagged for a second.
I just assumed it was me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'll only cover the really important parts. Yeah, that's kind of what the short version is, kiddo. I heard something amazing from someone who was there at the time.
What, like a hotel employee?
No, not like that. Jeez. When I say someone who was there, I'm Maverick. I obviously mean on the night of the high school girls who saw... what? Sorry, my eye is watering. I obviously mean one of the high school girls who was up to no good. There we go.
Huh? You talked to one?
This is legit, right?
Even Mashta's interested. Only the people who used Masquerade really know what happened there. Hearing from someone involved is best.
Yeah, her name is Ako. The editorial department helped me track her down. She went to a nearby high school and did this part-time job, apparently. And what's really important is what Ako said about her classmate, Sko.
Yeah, so I'll kind of explain what is going on here because it's not fantastic translation. So basically, when we are talking in Japanese, like trying to like abbreviate a name, so basically this would be like just saying like A, basically.
Oh.
But then in Japanese, we can also put a kanji at the end to note that someone is female.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's ko, and it's the kanji for child, but it's a common female name demarcation. So it's eko and esko. So their first name is probably starting with A or S, and then ko at the end is signifying that it's likely a female.
Okay.
It's a really weird translation choice how they did it.
Yeah.
Moya pulls a voice recorder from her bag and hits the play button.
Yeah, a friend introduced me to a part-time job. It's always so suspicious when they do it that way. It's like, dude. It was whimsical. I mean, I just did it on a whim. I wouldn't call that
Yeah, I don't
whimsical,
think
but
that's how whimsical is supposed to be used.
that's not what whimsy is. Yeah, so we're supposed to meet at the Hotel Masquerade. Also not what whimsy is. There's a system there where someone introduces us to customers. You get a lot of money from it, so everyone was dying to get hired. Poor choice of words. But one day, there was like an incident. Let's get into my teenage girl voice here. Someone at school found out about the job. Some goody two shoes class rep, Esco, said she was gonna tell her teacher in Mura.
Mura.
God, it's Spanish is always the. If I can't figure out how to pronounce it in English, Spanish is like my default of like. We're working on the secondary default of Japanese pronunciation. I'm at a 65-day streak on Duolingo now. Everyone freaked out and apologized to her, saying they'd stop, but she wouldn't listen. If our parents different P word. If our parents found out, it'd be the worst thing ever. We begged, but she didn't budge. Patrons, yeah, very different group of people. In the end, she left class saying she was going to go talk to the police with Enwura. We were totally freaking out, so I went to the hotel that night. Yeah, that's a good choice. I mean, at that point, there was no harm in going, you know? If our parole officers found out. Another group of people. So, yeah, you know. But then she was there. So, Esco?
Esco.
Is that kind of Esco? Okay, so you are. That's right. And what threw me off is like, I've been good about like, so in here with the characters in Hiragana, like A does not make the hard A sound,
Nope.
So that's where Echo threw me off. Where I was thinking it was Echo or like, yeah. Anyway, it's my excuse. Because that's what trips me up is always how the vowels sound different than what I'm used to them. So that always trips me up. So I thought I was doing good. I did not. Esco was standing in front of Masquerade in the drizzling rain. In a red raincoat. Dun, dun, dun. She said she was going to the police, so who knows why she was at the hotel. But it made us all jumpy and on edge every day after that. Except nothing ever happened. Soon after that, Masquerade shut down. I guess they uncovered something. Oh. Huh? The job? Well, that's none of your business. Yeah, I completely quit after that. Haha.
Sitting in the dark. There we go.
It's like it. I never know if it's just like me lagging or if it's an actual lag.
No, like I think they're trying to make it atmospheric, except for like when the music isn't going either, like it just goes to black and so it's silent and it's like
feels like a glitch.
Okay.
All right. That's Aiko's testimony. She just the important parts, though.
Boy got a fascinating first-hand account, and apparently just sat there and edited it, assuming that we would not need the entire thing. The rumors of Red Riding Hood and what was written in the guest books we found in the hotel, all the pieces are in that girl's confession. So, what happened? What ended up happening to Escort?
I don't know exactly, but apparently she stopped coming to school. She did. Murdered. According to Eiko, she just suddenly stopped showing up.
Mashta snorts.
It's too perfect. She probably was just being overly dramatic. Especially that part about the red raincoat. Most people use an umbrella when it's raining. Not here.
That's true. Yeah, really. Oregonians think that not using an umbrella is a personality trait. I don't get it.
I was about to say, you'll catch me. Like, it'll be a cold day in hell when I use an umbrella.
It is not a personality trait, people.
That's what hoodies are for.
It used to drive me insane. Like, we have these perfectly good things. Granted, like, I've never understood it. Like, I do understand the appeal of a colored umbrella, but the umbrellas here are so shitty. Like, they do not take wind whatsoever. But, like, you have a perfectly good piece of rubber that you can put over your head to keep you dry. And you fuckers would rather take your, like, sweatshirt and get soaked. Like, where is the logic?
Listen, that's why I wear, like, 2 jackets. It's fine.
You could
That's actually
have an umbrella.
So actually, fun story. Again, no Multiverse Madness spoilers, but when I went to go see it this weekend, it's been like we're in a storm cell right now, so like we're expecting it rain. But we went into the movie. I knew it was going to rain, so I was just, I was like, it's not actively raining. So I went to the movie wearing Birkenstocks, leggings, and a hoodie, and I came down, and it was a torrential downpour and hailing, and I was like, yeah, this is fine. And I definitely didn't think about any sort of umbrella. Because why would I need that?
I don't get it, man. Also, why are umbrellas so expensive here? You guys need a Daiso.
See, I own an umbrella because I got it for free. It's in my car. It's part of my emergency kit. In case, I gotta put on chains.
Oh, you'll use an umbrella then?
Yeah, because it's gonna take me forever because I've never done it. That's also why I keep my yoga mat in my car, so that way, because it's snowing. I don't want to get hypothermia.
I finally understood what the yoga mat was for. I'm over here going, you're just going to have a yoga emergency? Like...
No, and to clarify, if anybody else didn't have the aha moment, is so I can kneel on it on the ground. So that way I can put chains on my tires.
Everyone else probably caught it, and I'm just the asshole who's sitting here going, what?
Well, that's where, so my dad always keeps, a towel, and it's like, a towel's gonna get wet, so I'm just gonna keep my yoga mat in there. I don't do yoga no more.
Too long didn't read. Use a fucking umbrella.
Nah.
But also, get a good umbrella. Like, none of the bullshit here.
Weekend before last, Gabriel Iglesias, the comedian also known as Fluffy, was here. And I literally sat through, a 2.5, 3 hour comedy show in the rain. In an outside venue. No one was allowed to open their umbrellas if they had them.
That is awful.
Well, because
yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why clear umbrellas are clearly the best option, but... look, I'm a little biased, but
Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me catch up with chat.
Mhm.
Yeah, rain is is a state trait in Oregon, very much. Um, umbrella users versus raincoat users. Listen, yes. Um, look, Oregonians and rain are a weird thing. I learned this from my mother, a former Oregonian. We just handle it different. We're built different.
I remember moving to Oregon and like having someone like proudly, and granted this was in Eugene, so for those of you who don't know, the University of Oregon is in Eugene, Oregon. And their mascot is the duck. It used to look like Donald Duck, and then I think there was like some fallout with Disney. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. But like I remember talking to someone who like very proudly like was sitting there going, "Yeah, like it's like we're all ducks," and it's like, okay, this is a weird thing to base your personality on, but I don't know what to do with this information.
And then finally, to get us all caught up, the real reason to use an umbrella is so you can swing it around like a sword and fly like Mary Poppins.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll concede. I would, and that's the other reason why I like having an umbrella in my car, because it's a big one.
Mhm.
And I can hit somebody with that pretty hard. That's what it's for. It's for putting chains on my tires and hitting people.
There you go. I remember watching an anime ages ago, and I'm going to like say the scene just because number one, I don't remember what the name of the anime was. But also, you know, like it's been long enough. For those of you who don't know, I don't really watch anime, so like it's definitely been probably at least 10 years. But like, so it was a horror one because that seems to be the only thing I watch these days. And like there were like two major deaths that I sat there and went, "Oh, that's a good death." Which is probably not a good thing to say. Like now that I've said that out loud, not a serial killer. Off, you know, like
in today's episode of not
exactly.
A serial killer.
But like one of the deaths. So the girl had an umbrella in her hand and she fell down the stairs and dropped it, and the umbrella hit just right and stabbed her through as she fell.
That's some Final Destination shit.
I loved it. The other one was a girl in an elevator going up, and for like buildings in Japan are pretty tall, you know, so you can be up a good like 30-40 floors, but then all of a sudden the like elevator belt snapped and just dropped down to the basement and just smashed her. It was fantastic.
See, okay, this reminds me before, so our, you know, like that was actually going to be my question, because how we've done normal stream is we do like our introductions, and usually I end up going first, and then I say like the random fact, and then that kind of like sparks it. That was going to be my question before we started talking about my allergy issues. Was what's your favorite scary movie? Because we were doing the scary video game.
I actually have an answer for this one because it is my favorite movie of all time. But if you've never watched the movie Audition, it's a Mike Takahashi film.
Oh,
I love that movie.
I heard of this movie. I haven't seen it.
I love it so much. One of these days we need to sit down and watch it together because it is fantastic. Like it's not gross horror.
Yeah.
Like there's so much of it that is just like, it seems normal, but there's something that you can't quite put your finger on. You know, it's like an uncomfortable scene, but you can't quite figure out why. Yeah. And then once you figure it out and you watch, like you can watch it through the second time and go, "Oh my god, I understand." It's so good. What about yours?
Right now it's a little bit of a tie. And there's some caveats with this decision, with both of these choices. But Halloween and Scream,
both solid choices.
But specifically the Halloween timeline that skips to the newer two sequels and ignores all the other bullshit. Like how Laurie and Michael were siblings. Mm-hmm. Get rid of that. Halloween H2O, get rid of it. Like, I like those movies, but I like the continuity with Halloween, then Halloween Kills, and then I think the next one is like Halloween Forever. And then I really like Scream a lot. I really enjoyed the new one too, so they're
Yeah, like
good.
I think my second choice would be the Ju-on series. So
Hmm.
I think it would be the Grudge, in English. The American remakes I don't like, but the Japanese ones, especially, like a few, it's got to be close to 10 years ago now. They rebooted the series, and each time they like keep adding to the canon, and I love like all of it. Um, I'm really into like the onryo kind of Japanese horror. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, back to the game.
Um, yeah, so clarification. Yeah, so the Halloween timeline that I prefer is the 1978 original film, and then you cut to, was it what, like 2019? When they released the sequel, which is just also called Halloween. Um, and then Halloween Kills is it was last year. And then I think, yeah, so that's, I don't really like, like, because that Halloween 2 is when they introduced the whole, like, he's her brother stuff. And I mean, like, they're fun. Like, that's my preferred timeline. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a preference. I will watch, minus like the Rob Zombie Halloween. I'm really down with any of the Halloween stuff because it definitely gets really weird. Because that's one of the things, like, even like when you get into things like the franchises, like Friday the 13th, or even like Nightmare on Elm Street, like you've got all of these like really like kind of hokey and fun horror stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy that. I also, like really like legit like scary stuff that I have to watch through my fingers.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a big fan of like psychological kind of horror. So like on the English side, if I had to pick an English movie that I really like, it would be the first Saw movie. I
okay,
love that movie. Like,
it's a good one.
the rest of them, like they're fun. I like the like gore and ridiculous situations in them. But also like,
well, that's where I think the terminology that they use is like torture porn.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of body horror. That's the word. That's
Mm-hmm.
specifically that I was thinking of. There's certain amount of body horror that I can take, and then sometimes for me, the Saw franchise goes a little too far for
Yeah.
my personal comfort zone. But I can appreciate it.
Yeah, like it gets pretty gratuitous after a while. I got really tired of the bear claw or the bear trap thing.
Yeah.
It was like you can only do that so many times for it to be interesting.
Yeah. But no, like I think that's one of the things that it really kind of like makes me sad when people don't, like, they only like, like new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really like the only experience that I've had with hold on, Leia, what are you doing? Okay, you're just doing your Leia thing? Okay. Sorry. To see what my dog was doing. I thought I heard her ripping something. I think she just sneezed. But my really the only like horror properties that I can think of that are like foreign, that I've seen that I can identify quickly are there was a Korean horror film that came out on Netflix at the beginning of the pandemic. What is that one called? Shit. The other one is All of Us Are Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a TV show. I think it's also Korean. But they're both about zombies. It's like #alive, I think is the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That one, especially at like during quarantine, hit real hard. Because I remember I was texting you about like how weird, because that was an experience.
It was that
the first time
one.
I got to experience the weird dubbing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally I don't get to experience those things because the majority of the media that I consume starts off in English.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, So I started off obviously in Asian horror, and I actually do still prefer Asian horror. I
Mhm.
think that Western horror gets a little bit too just like gratuitous at times.
Mhm.
Like don't get me wrong, I love a good slasher film, but also, I want int- I want something interesting in it as well.
Yeah.
Like Korean ones that I can think of, A Tale of Two Sisters is a good one. Old Boy is another good one. Um, and from Japan, obviously, you've got Ning, you've got Duong. Both of those spawned major, like American
Mhm.
releases. And actually, the
Did
most
not watch
recent
those.
Ring actually wasn't too bad. Um, I didn't mind that one. I think it was Rings, I think was what they named it, which
Yeah.
I
Oh
thought was
yeah.
a really weird name.
Was it the one like yeah? Because it had the commercial where like they're like washing their hair and then the hands came out.
Yeah,
I hated that. I never saw the movie, but I was like, ah.
I actually didn't mind it. Like most of the time, so I in Japanese, like I thought that the movies for Ningu were just okay. It's actually based off of a book series, and the book series itself is really interesting. Um, like you get to figure out what the backstory of Sadako is, and it's really fantastic. And then I thought that the English franchise, they just tried to popularize the Japanese one, and since the Japanese one it goes so slow and boring, it's like okay, just adding a couple of jump scares didn't fix it.
Yeah. Catching back up with chat, one of my favorite recent psych horrors is Get Out.
That one was good.
Get Out is good. Us, both of them. I mean, were hard to watch. I'm really looking forward to Nope.
Hmm.
I love how literally the first trailer, and we should get back to the game. um, I love how the first trailer for Nope is literally 6 seconds of footage from the movie. Everything else is from Get Out and Us.
That's called keeping it secret.
Like, I love how like the rest of it was a commercial for his other 2 horror movies. Like, beautiful.
Like, you just have to. I haven't watched Us yet, but I did watch Get Out, and I've actually watched it a few times now.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's a really interesting, kind of like, it's not horrifying in the traditional sense, but it's horror. It's more of like the Japanese horror that I kind of grew up on.
Yeah.
So
Well, because I think it's definitely, like it's definitely a very different take
Mhm.
because we're, as in like the American audience is very much used to like a white lens on horror.
Mhm.
And that's not what Get Out is at all.
Ew.
Like, it's not.
Yeah. And also, I think that, like, for American audiences, and this is just something that I've noticed, and I will point out that I don't watch a ton of American horror movies, just because a lot of times they're not really my taste. But, like, American horror movies seem to be kind of like the entire thing is about them trying to, like, overcome this bad thing that is happening to them. So the whole thing at the end is going to be them kind of outsmarting it.
Yeah.
And it's like, Get Out is not a movie, like, he could not have outsmarted that at any moment. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to say this without spoiling the movie for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Well, there's definitely outside forces that assist him getting out, just because of how the things that happen in that movie happen. You are not meant to get out.
Right.
Like, that's not how, sometimes like I really like the kind of bittersweet endings, like the Living Dead series. But finish my thought on Get Out. Like, yeah, it's you're not meant to get out. Where like you get like because if you look at like a movie like Cabin in the Woods, which I fucking love, highly recommend if you've never seen it. But it's along the lines. It's basically a different take and along the lines of Scream, where it's very subversive. Obviously, there is a very big subplot that is very different in Cabin in the Woods versus Scream. But both of them have forces tinkering with events to get them to play out the way that they want them to.
Mm-hmm.
And just in very different ways, and one much better funded. But hey guys, can we not fight? Well, that's my dogs are wrestling. They're not actually fighting, but they're wrestling. But that's one of the things, like with the the Living Dead series. So like Night of the Living Dead, like freaking like none of our heroes live. Like especially like in the original one, the original George Romero film, like we don't have a final girl, we don't have a hero at the end that survives. Like literally, I think like everybody that we follow in the house, it's a movie from the 60s. I don't feel bad spoiling it.
I mean,
but like everyone dies. Because it's so sad, because you like that was one of the cool things about Night of the Living Dead originally, is like Ben being a black guy kind of also was very subversive, and continued to be subversive for a really long time, because you know the hero is, of course, the hero's white. But yeah, that one's I love that movie. I also really love the really hokey follow-ups to that. The one where they're in the mall is very funny.
oh my god.
Can't remember what that one is. Is that Dawn?
Yeah, I think so.
Dawn, because it's Night of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead.
Yes.
Is the trilogy.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I think you're right.
And then of course there's also been like plenty of remakes on all of them, and
maybe that needs to be another viewing party that we do. Just pick a random horror movie and go.
That would be fun. Spaceball. Yeah, what a selection so far. Spaceballs and random horror movie.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with this. All right, shall we get back to our game?
Yeah.
I don't even think we've made it through one conversation.
No, we definitely... Maverick. Hold on. Hey, stop.
Busta's right. It's possible that the raincoat was a sign for whoever she was waiting for, but hardly anyone comes down this street. It doesn't really fit.
Is that all you have to tell us? Then hurry up and go home. So I really can't come with you?
No.
No. Definitely not, child. We're not letting you into the demon hotel.
Child, I have already seen you in your underwear, and I did not want to see you the first time. I do not need to see you seduce me.
I worked really hard, you know.
Apparently, Moy really wants to come along. I do feel bad. She worked and got us that info just so she could investigate with us. But, sorry, but you shouldn't be here. There have already been 2 victims. We can't get you wrapped up in this too.
Oh, okay, I understand. Yeah, we don't need her.
She is gonna follow us in.
She's 100% gonna follow us in.
Moy nods. I guess she's already over it. Apparently, we don't know what teenage girls are like.
You better tell me all about it later. And be careful.
She sounds worried about me. She disappears around the street corner. A siren echoes on the wind, an unnatural howl in the distance. I look up at Masquerade looming before us. What in the hell happened inside that hunk of concrete? There's always a tragic cause to the birth of a spirit. Red Riding Hood must be the same. But I can't watch my friends die. I slowly step forward, trying to escape from the unease that's threatening to engulf me.
It's not right for the dead to meddle with the living.
Mashta mutters beside me. Is that a personal creed?
Nah, just what I think.
Ashta clicks his tongue. All right. So, let's do a quick recap. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Actually, let's save that while I'm thinking about it. Because I forgot I could do this. But also, let's do a quick recap on what the ghost is. Because again, all I remember is teenage prostitution.
Uh-huh.
Okay, is it you? Nope, that's what we got. Okay, Red Riding Hood. What do we got? Okay, so when Tsukasa come to visit. Okay, there's a ghost story that takes place on the hotel street in K City. A young girl wearing a red raincoat appears on rainy days, and anyone who enters a hotel with her ends up missing. Even worse, they're later discovered to have gone insane and tragically ending their lives. That's the dark rumor. Let's see. We met the girl in the red raincoat. For some reason, she calls me sir and asks me questions as if she wants to confirm something. Before she vanishes, we hear her whisper, "All the immoral people died." Um,
Yikes.
yeah, yikes. Let's see. Oh yeah, we had the weird repairing ritual thing. So we repaired the elevator. All right, we are caught back up. So we still kind of don't know what we're doing, but let go. Let's get at least somewhere in this game.
Yeah, it kind of does sound like a little bit like American Psycho. Hey,
As I step into the lobby, Mashta steps in front of me. What's wrong?
what a fantastic job you've done here.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Look,
What? The lobby looks completely different. Yeah, there's a few more cobwebs than I remember. The room is covered in white. No, it wasn't like this yesterday. I mean, to be fair, we were carrying out our friend wrapped in spider silk yesterday. I don't know that any of us actually took a look at what happened after that.
thought so. These are webs.
Mashta touches one of the floating threads.
Looks like she's up the ante. Bring it. Time to make our appointment with our lady friend.
Just then, the groan of the elevator moving echoes. Did the elevator just come back to the first floor? That'd mean,
Time to leave.
yeah.
Someone's already here? Yeah, the ghost. Leave. Uh, did you see what floor it came from?
We went home and then lived the rest of our lives happily, never thinking of this ever again. No, I wasn't looking. Though I feel like it took a while between when I heard the noise and its arrival.
I'm betting it's one of the upper floors. Maybe the fourth or fifth?
Yesterday we got the elevator working and managed to get to the fourth floor. But because of what happened to Banshee, we weren't able to investigate any higher.
Okay, let's start on the fourth floor.
All right. Take the elevator. Go to the fourth floor. Moving on up in the world. With our bromance. All right, let's just take a quick look around. See if we see anything. Lots of cobwebs. The chest with a vase on top. We'll open the drawer and find a notebook. We got the guest book 401.
What's that?
And the guest book provided by the hotel. Guests write about their experiences in it. I glanced through the pages. This guest book's entries are clearly different from all the other ones. It covers a number of horrifying topics such as devil worship and different kinds of torture. Every page is crammed with stuff like that. Just normal things you talk about at a hotel. It's impossible to tell which ones are delusions and which ones actually took place. The only thing I can say for sure is that it's surging with a twisted, single-minded appetite. I silently hand over the guest book. Mashta skims through it, then smirks.
Huh. That's quite the hobby. The handwriting differs by page. This was written by several guests.
I find that hard to believe. I sincerely doubt there are so many people in the world who have such a unique hobby.
They're like moths drawn to flame. You wouldn't even know to look at them. Sorry. The pieces are finally coming together. Sorry. I
Okay.
inhaled wrong, apparently.
Uh-oh.
And all I did was inhale. Seems this hotel offered a special service for its perverted guests.
You mean the kind of stuff written in that guest book?
Yeah, the kids working that part-time job were probably part of it too. Maverick, please don't. Maverick, please don't. Thank you. He's trying to get out, and he tried to jump me to get me to get up to let him out. Again, reminder, he is a dog. I'm not neglecting a child. I am neglecting my dog. Not actually. Don't call PETA on me. Guaranteed their safety and complete confidentiality, of course. After all, the one who sold his soul was probably more nervous about that. Still, these people have quite the imagination.
Mashta mutters sarcastically as he casually leafs through the pages. Then he stops.
Hey, this phrase, do you know what it means? It's in Russian. Oh, wrong game.
The phrase Mashta's pointing to is Jorogumo's punishment. Jorogumo, huh? It's a spider monster from Japanese folklore that can shapeshift into a beautiful woman.
Ah, so you know about it. Thanks so much for the info dump.
I
He
ignored.
didn't really, though.
No, I did not. How dare I speak more than one sentence? I ignore the hint of sarcasm in his voice and read the rest of the page. Jorogumo's punishment is a recreation of a certain urban legend. You capture the largest spider you can find. A wild one would be best. Sharpen the sacrifice's senses with drugs, and then use a mouth speculum to keep their mouth open. Then throw the spider into their mouth. Anyone who's got arachnophobia probably is not very comfortable right now. If they manage to swallow it, they're innocent. If they don't, or the spider escapes, they're guilty. It's a witch trial meant to judge truth from lie. If I get a sacrifice that needs punishing, I'd like to try it out immediately.
What the fuck?
It can't be that what's written here was actually...
Yucky.
Did someone actually do this?
Who knows?
Let me just say, if they had done this in the Crucible, that would have been a much more interesting book to read.
Hey. Calm down. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm calm. I doubt Mashta believes me. It's obvious that I'm totally rattled.
Don't forget Kirigiri. We can't die here. We can, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, of course. I know that. I try to keep my reply as steady as possible, but my hands keep shaking as I put the guest book in my bag. There's a Venetian mask on the wall. I pick the mask up and find a talisman on the wall underneath. Yay, health.
Ooh.
Self-care. Oh, that's right. We kind of only barely got through the last fight on accident. Oh, hello.
Oh God. Sorry. That scared me. I was like, what? And then looked right at her, like, ah.
All right, let's look in the trash can. I turn it upside down and shake it. Feel like we could just lifted the lid, but whatever. A wad of paper falls out. All right, we got another worn out talisman. Yay, more health. The tampon, it's fine. Da-da-da-da-da. Some kind of slime is stuck to the mirror, so my reflection is hard to see.
I hate mirror slime.
All right, I'm not saying it. Oh, mind. There are brand new spider webs. Was this web built last night? Okay, now even perfectly normal spider webs are starting to look eerie. All right, let's get out of here. Skedaddle. And let's go in the other room. Okay, why is the phone ringing?
So
Do
glad
we
I
have
can't hear
7
that.
days? I hear a faint laugh. I don't hear anything more coming from it. Okay. Is your refrigerator running? All right. It feels like the mask is staring at me. I take it down to examine it, but it's just a mask. Still feels like it's staring at me, though. We've hit that level of paranoia that it's like, okay. Just like take a deep breath, dude.
Yeah.
It's a horribly stained sink. I really don't want to do this, but I still need to check it out. I shut my eyes and stick my fingers down the drain, and then I lose
Ew.
a finger. I touch something hard. Something
Eh,
cylindrical is stuck down there. Sadly, my fingers don't seem to be able to reach it.
that's fine. Something in there? It's often a prime location to hide incriminating objects. It's likely an important piece of evidence. We should get it.
All right, what do I have? All right, an emergency keyring, credit card, a couple of guest books, a vibrator, Vaseline, a wooden horse head, and another guest book. I mean, I
None of
don't.
these are going to be helpful.
Yeah. Stains look like they might have come from old blood. Okay, well, they're not giving me any indication on what I should use on it, so. There's dark red water in the bathtub. My nose rebels at the stench of iron. I don't think that's water then.
You.
All right. Masquerade wife. It's a picture of a masked girl running down a trail. All right. We go up to the 5th floor this way. The door to room 502 is locked. Okay, how about 501 then?
Hey, shine that light inside. Uh-oh. Ah!
Well. Uh-huh.
Oh, what the fuck? A body has finally turned up. Let's check it out.
I love how they locked the other room and not this one with the body in it. Right. Okay, let's take a quick look around the room. Not seeing anything else other than the body in that door, so let's check out the body. There's a skeleton left hanging in the restraints. When I touch it, something flakes off. Looks like traces of dried skin. The corpse is almost a complete skeleton.
Small stature, but based on the thickness of the bones, likely an adult male. Considering how dried out it is, I'd say it's been here at least a year. The problem is cause of death.
Mashta meticulously searches the corpse, then finally shakes his head.
I just can't tell. Was he strangled by a spider web?
Quit joking around.
Joke, huh? It'd be great if that's all it was. Still, the skeleton. He must have been in pain when he died. His face is all twisted.
If it was an adult male, then he was likely a guest here. No matter how hard I try to sympathize, I just can't.
Hey, look at this.
Mashta suddenly tosses something at me.
I found it earlier. It belonged to this guy. It still has some fuel left. Keep it in your bag or something.
All right, we got a cheap lighter. Great. I'm going to try to do a horrible thing. I take out the cheap lighter. Damn it.
God damn it.
Can't figure out what to do with it? Then, dude, you do not have enough imagination. Or I have too much. Okay, there's a storage cabinet beneath the sink. I open the door and rummage around inside. All right, we got a bent hanger. Ooh, maybe we can get that thing out.
Yeah.
All right, we open the lid of the trash can to look inside. There's a large clump of hair inside, as well as some paper waste. Resisting the urge to scream, I securely close the lid and chuck the trash can back where it was. It's a little bit of hair, it's fine. Like, I shed enough that sometimes, like, I feel like my bathroom would be what they would make horror games about. Alright, so let's try to go get that thing out of the sink. Was this room? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the other one. Must have been the other one.
Hmm.
Do 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 do. And we go back. Alright. That's the same room. Okay. Wait, no, that's the same room. I think we went on the same side as the painting. There we go.
Yeah, because it was the 3.
Yeah. Alright. I know that I have to feel it. Okay, something cylindrical is stuck in the drain. My fingers can't reach it.
Ugh.
You know what? An idea hits me and I take out the bent hanger. I should be able to bend this into any shape I want. I bend it into one straight wire so it can fit down the train. I stick it in the pipe and move it up and down. I hear the sound of dirty water being dislodged and then hit something hard. We got the key to room 502. On the key is a tag that says Deluxe Suite.
That'll come in handy. Good thing it wasn't washed down the drain.
Yeah. There are sticky white threads wrapped around this key too. Seems like they stopped it from falling all the way down the pipe. All right, well, let's go unlock 502. See what kind of horrors we can find in it. Da-da-da-da. Go up and open. Well, that's disappointing.
No dead body.
No dead body. There's a broken wooden horse. I go to lift up the wooden horse. When I do, I notice something catch the light. I pick it up and discover it's a metal tool.
It's a mouth speculum. It's usually used for medical purposes, but some maniacs use it for other things.
Like dumping spiders down people's throats. Huh. Just as I'm replying to Mashta, a white light flashes before my eyes and I black out. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Ah. I hear someone sobbing. My eyes should be open, but everything is pitch black. I shake my head desperately and try to look around. A horrible image flows into my mind. What is this? A young girl is blindfolded and restrained. Her mouth is being forced open with that tool.
Ugh,
Her breathing is ragged. She must have been given a drug of some kind.
don't like.
Mm-mm.
Let's commence the judgment.
A man speaks theatrically behind me.
Court has decided to give the accused a fair trial and give judgment for her crimes. The trial will now begin.
Once again, if you have arachnophobia, this is probably not a good time for you.
Ah. I shall put the spider in the accused mouth, and if it crawls out, she is guilty. If she can swallow it, she is innocent.
Upon hearing that, the girl starts jerking around frantically, her movements haphazard. Apparently, she is not a willing participant in this.
I know. Help me, sir. Help me.
She desperately cries for help. Her words are garbled from fear or the drug. I hear men jeering. Then a man releases a giant spider into the girl's mouth. Yeah, girlie, I cannot blame you for...
Eek. I'm very uncomfortable.
Ah!
Don't like this game. Hey, get a hold of yourself. Can't get it. Can you see me?
The spider, get it!
Idiot, calm down.
With a slug to the jaw, I finally return to my senses. You know he's been waiting to do that.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm in a room at Masquerade. Then the vision I just saw. What did I just see? I went somewhere.
You haven't gone anywhere. You just fell on the floor and started writhing.
I feel like I've woken from a long dream. Can't believe that was a hallucination.
You finally calmed down?
Yeah, I'm fine now. I wipe sweat off my forehead and swallow. That girl who was restrained? Was that Esco? If it is so, then was she unable to go to the police because she was caught by people here? Alright. Ooh, look, a coffin. There's a decorative coffin. I open the lid of the coffin, and I find a book amongst the junk inside. We got a demon encyclopedia.
Cool.
The book has pictures of various demons and demonic crests and lists their characteristics.
I guess the guests here were interested in stuff like that.
Okay. Neat. Gonna throw a book at a ghost. Go in the bathroom. See if I can find more human hair. There's a shelf stuck to the wall. I check through all the bottles on the shelf. We got bath salts and insect repelling cream. You know what? We do deserve a nice bath. Maybe not here, but the tub is covered in dents and scratches, too many for it to be natural wear. Going by the appearance of the room, horrible things probably happened in here too. Okay.
Neat.
Go talk to the body again. Mostly because I don't know what to do with it otherwise. When I touch it, something flakes off. It looks like traces of dried skin. Okay. Oops. Spiderwebs wrap around its entire body, making it look fake at first glance, but Machta says it's the corpse of an adult male. Rich lavender fragrance using aged rock salt. Yeah, I didn't think the Demon Encyclopedia was going to help me. I have no idea what to do. Oh, wait, there's another coffin in here. I open the lid of the coffin, find a book, and we got a monster encyclopedia. The book about different monsters from around Japan and their associated legends. Mashta flips through the book.
So the spider monster originally killed people by drowning them in water.
Yeah, that sounds right. I remember reading a legend like that in one of the books piled on my desk at Kujo Mansion. It usually targets woodcutters or hunters, but they're always saved at the last minute. Every region has a story like that.
Saved? How?
They use a tree stump. The spider takes it instead. Then the protagonist escapes.
Huh. I don't get it at all.
There's no point in complaining about folklore.
In any case, this will make for a good reference. Take it with you.
Okay. Nowhere else to go. I hear footsteps as I step into the hallway. I turn in the direction of the noise to see... Oh, Shaw!
Oh boy.
Shaw? Joe Nagashima is standing there. Mashita said he ran into him at the hospital, but... I can't believe you came. Joe? What's the matter? There a ghost behind me? I take a step towards him, but Mashita stops me.
Wait, something's not right.
I look closely at Joel's face. No, it couldn't be. His face is unnaturally stiff. Suddenly, he begins yelling angrily.
Uh, uh, I was looking for you this whole time. I'm going to kill you.
I think... Oh! He raises a metal bat he was hiding and moves in to attack. This is not good.
Get back, kitty kitty.
Mashta yells, urging me to escape. But we're in a hallway with close walls. What should I do? How about run the fuck away?
Yeah. GTFO,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
like... Alright, show us attacking. What should I do? Duck and dodge. Run to my left or run to my right. I guess we'll duck and dodge. I mean, I don't have anywhere to go. I quickly duck, covering my head.
Hey, you're not getting away.
Joe's bat alters course in a flash, and I take a direct hit. Oh, that hurt. He straightens only to swing his bat again. Shit! I have my hands full with just trying to get away. There's no way I'll be able to restrain him. But if Sho's like Hiro and is infected with the same mysterious poison, we have to restrain him or his life's in danger. I can't do this alone. What do I do?
Die.
Shoal's deranged eyes burn a hole in me. This is not a good sign for me. Shoal's attacking the hit. Alright, do I punch him? Do I tackle him? Or do I draw his attention? I mean,
We have his attention. I don't know. Tackle him?
yeah, we're just gonna tackle him and hope that that's it. I don't think... Ah! I desperately try for a counterattack.
Idiot, I can see right through you.
Huh? Shoal easily dodges and swings his bat down.
Shit.
So you know how he said he was gonna kill us?
Yeah, he killed us.
Yeah, I think he managed it. It happens in a flash. After that, all I know is endless darkness. Well, that sucks. Knew that kid was... Alright, let's decide again. Alright. So, obviously we do not want to do that again. Alright. Yes, he's standing there. Ran into him at the hospital. He's gonna go batshit in just a second. Couldn't be. Space is unnaturally stiff. Suddenly he begins yelling angrily.
Try to look it up.
Alright, we're in a hallway with close walls. Alright, this time I think I'm gonna try running to my left.
Okay.
I don't know if that's it, but, like, the way he's standing, if I managed to run, he'd have to, like, readjust his grip.
Yeah.
I quickly dodged to the left. Hey, you're not getting away.
Sorry,
Shoal-
I'm still trying to look.
Yeah, it's okay. Shoal's bat alters course in a flash and heads straight for me. But the tip of the bat hits the wall and narrowly misses me. Woo! He straightens only to swing his bat again. Shit! I have my hands full with just trying to get away. There's no way I'll be able to restrain him. Okay, so tackling him was not it. But if Shoal's like Hiro and is infected with the same mysterious poison, we have to restrain him or his life's in danger. I can't do this alone. What do I do? Alright, die. Shoal's deranged eyes burn a hole in me. You know what? I'm gonna grab his attention and hopefully Mashta understands what the fuck I'm doing. He probably won't, but that's okay. Ah! If my chances are thin, no matter what I do, then my only chance is to draw his attention. Huh? Joel hesitates for a moment, confused. But a second later... Dumb idiot! You don't know when to give up, old man! The metal bat flashes above his head. Then... You're the idiot. Mashta suddenly appears next to him and throws a direct punch at his face. Yay!
Hell yeah.
Mashta has now gotten to punch 2 of us today. He must be in a great mood. We survived! Sho tumbles to the ground. As he falls, his bat flies through the air and... Yeah! Unluckily for me, it collides into the side of my head and I collapse with a pitiful yelp. Dumbass. Cursing, Mashta quickly grabs Sho's arm and completely restrains him. As Mashta puts his weight on him, Sho groans painfully. Finally, he faints. Are you back?
Yes. Hey, Kirigiri, you okay?
Yeah, it just grazed me. Killed by flying bat. I sit up and gently shake my head back and forth. Thankfully, everything seems fine. Nothing rattles, so...
Then give me a hand. We need to carry him out of here. He's probably like the others now.
We'd better hurry. To think Sho would end up as the 3rd victim. I managed to make myself stand, but my spirits have dropped down to my feet. It's still sprinkling outside. We drag Shoal out of the hotel. Finally, we have a chance to catch our breaths.
We'll call off the investigation for today.
Yeah. Banshee and Hiro flash before my eyes, but Shoal's safety should come first. Let's go ahead and bring him to the hospital. I'll go get the car.
Sorry. My eyes have started getting heavy again. Having a great time. Good idea. Yours is better for moving sick people around.
Not sure what that means, but I take out my car key and stand up.
He doesn't care if they throw up in our car.
Pretty much. But just as I do, ugh, a piercing pain runs through the side of my head and I fall back to my knees.
Kitty.
It's just a headache. I thought it had gone away, so why?
You got hit right where it hurts, huh? Just rest here. There.
But so,
You're injured too, so take it easy. I'll take, Nagashima in my car. You wait here until I get back. Got it?
there a reason why we can't all go together?
I'll come straight back after I drop him off. That's stupid.
Sorry. Show's in your hands now. Mashta collects Sho and disappears. The soft pitter-patter of rain permeates the area. The sound of the rain seems to make this place even quieter somehow. Then I notice something. The noises aren't the only thing that's vanished. The pain is gone. The intense headache has faded like it never was. This happened to me twice before. Hold on. Now I'm suspicious. Clearly, Mashta giving me a headache. I think back on the times when I had a headache. The first is when I went inside Masquerade with Daimon and Banshee. Back then, I'm pretty sure I wanted to keep everyone together. But then I had a headache and Banshee up and disappeared. My next headache came the following morning. I was trying to go see Hiro and Banshee, but in the end I was unable to. Then just now, I was going to the hospital with Sho and Mashta. I gazed at the entrance to Masquerade.
Oh, my computer's being really weird.
Uh-oh.
You're the only one I want to see, sir.
That's what Red Riding Hood said. I get it, I stare at the hotel as if I can see through doors. I feel like I can see a red figure inside. One rainy night, a girl stood there wearing a red raincoat. You're still waiting even now for the one you respect so much. That headache always attacked when I was trying to stick with other people. If I stop trying to stay by myself like I am now, then it'll vanish like it was never there. I get it. Hiro, Banshee, and now Sho. I've gotten my friends all caught up in this. That's right. It's all my fault again. I'll come alone. So, do what you will.
Dun, dun, dun.
I go back inside Masquerade.
Sir.
A voice calls out from the darkness as if it was waiting for me.
He. I don't know, how else are you supposed to say that?
What are you telling me to do?
You see the red thread of fate, right? Top floor in the room of masks.
The top floor. The 6th floor was listed on the guide, but it was impossible to reach.
I'll be waiting.
Red Riding Hood's figure melts silently into the elevator. As she does, the elevator's floor display begins blinking on and off erratically.
Shit.
The combination. Oh, that's not me.
You know it, don't you, sir?
Do I? Her voice reverberates throughout the elevator. So she's telling me to go to her? But this combination? What in the world could that be? I think might be a good place to stop for tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
So next stream is today's Tuesday, right?
Yes.
All right, next stream is Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. Are you back on Thursday?
Yes, I should be.
Woo!
Unless my allergies decide to make things worse.
All right, so we will be back on Thursday. I don't know if Mana will be back, so we could be either finishing this game up, and I think we've got to be close to the end.
Yeah, I think we've got. Yeah, I think so.
Like, assuming that we don't spend half of it talking about horror movies and Disney World and allergies. I don't know. We may finish it. Maybe. Possibly.
Maybe. Could do it.
You got any announcements?
Other than, be good people, be nice to yourself, be nice to others. And then our usual.
Wash your hands, wear your masks. Please get vaccinated. I would like to not have a pandemic sometime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice
Sorry,
if that would end.
Panorama. Yeah, so we will be back on Thursday. Have a good night all. Go watch a good horror movie. Bring some recommendations back to us.
Yes.
No, I will judge you. And have a good night.
Goodbye.
Bye.